Hey folks, lyarri here. Today we're reacting to Game Deals by Scott the Wise. So excited to learn about why games cost money. And different amounts of them. Whoa. Let's go.
Hey y'all, Scott here. One man's trash is another man's fucking garbage. What makes a video game a good deal? Well, it's subjective. I don't know why you wrote big fangs, but I can't say you're wrong. But it's good to know your limits, what the bare minimum kind of product you'd buy at a certain price is. If I'm gonna buy a game for $70, well, it's gotta have this, or I'm not budging. But many don't seem to understand now, just because they won't buy anything with the letter B in it, that doesn't mean I abide by their logic. Either way, I'm safe. It's entirely up to each individual how they spend their money. If you want to buy The Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation 5, yeah, I mean, there's worse ways to spend $70. Here, take my money. So then what do I consider good deals and bad deals in gaming?
Good comparison.
Well, to truly understand, we need examples, and if we don't get examples, we'll make examples. After over a decade of $60 being the norm for the standard blockbuster video game, with the introduction of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, we saw that price increase by $10. Oh no, Michael, need a crunch money. Hey, listen, I'm opposed to $70 video games, or how much time you get out of these things. That's still a fine value. It cost me $15 to see Dumbo, and I still haven't made back that investment. But the games they chose to be some of the first with that standardized price, it's the same goat I've seen every day for a nickel. I'll give him 9,000 today. You'd expect games like Forza Horizon 5, Resident Evil Village, Guardians of the Galaxy, Elden Ring to maybe be $70, but no. Demon's Souls, a remake of a PlayStation 3 game from 2009 that launched at $60, a part of the same lineup of games from the same developers, Elden Ring, which retailed at $60. Oh, I'm sorry. The chef is out. He made all the sense around here. Again, $70 games, I'm fine with. I mean, have you seen the prices of games from the 90s? Mortal Kombat Trilogy on Nintendo 64 was $75, and you know why they went lower? The cash register can't hold that much money. Well, game prices were the way they were back then due to how much technology had to be crammed into these game cartridges, many of which had unique hardware included in order to achieve maximum, here you go. So, yeah, when you have to specially produce chips to put inside each and every game, that'll drive up the cost. Though with the transition to discs, those you didn't have to do that with. Just order a pack of blank CDs from Big Lots and you're set. Those were cheaper to mass produce, thus games got a fairly standardized price during the PlayStation 2 days of 50 bones. That increased to 60 with the Xbox 360 era, and moving into the PlayStation 5 generation, now you have to pay 70 for some of the biggest $10 games. The Last of Us Part 1, a 2022 remake of a game from 2013 that received a remaster in 2014, retailing for $70 US. Why is this so expensive? Because the toxins released spending $70 are far healthier than burning it. This is what I'd consider to be a bad deal in gaming, all right? Let's just use this chart here to compare all releases of The Last of Us. In 2013, you got the initial release for $60, considered Game of the Year by millions, one of the best stories told in all of gaming alongside incredibly tightly designed gameplay. And that's just the single player campaign. You got multiplayer as well, plus a downloadable single player prequel for an extra $15. The original 2013 release was well worth it in every sense of the word.
Sounds good.
Really fast. But with the title releasing within the final year of the PlayStation 3's life before the PlayStation 4 took over, those who didn't already have the console weren't super willing to invest in one. Thus, 1 year later, The Last of Us Remastered for PlayStation 4 launched for $50. Improved visuals, frame rate, the DLC is included in the package, free of charge. Plus, there's a new photo mode, features utilizing the PlayStation 4 controller. This isn't the most exciting remaster, but it was a necessary one, giving the PlayStation 4 user base the chance to play one of the greatest games of all time in the most definitive way possible at a discounted price that would continue to drop over time. 8 years later. This game better look like Satan's worst nightmare.
Does look pretty good.
It looks like you just had a bad dream. The Last of Us Part 1 is a remake of the 2013 game. Remaster like the 2014 game, and putting them all side by side, wow, you can tell. To be fair, during cutscenes and other in-game moments, the differences can be more drastic than you think. They truly did rebuild this game, but a lot of the differences feel like just that. Not necessarily an upgrade, just it looks different now. Going from the original PS3 game to Part 1 on PS5 is a huge step up. But from remastered on PS4 Like, there should have been a bonus feature in part 1. A fucking bird that tells you when something's different. If anything, they took more stuff out with the
that's true, that'd be
exclusion of the
cool.
multiplayer mode. And yes, the game looks better now, but The Last of Us Remastered still looks better than 90% of the games releasing these days, and you can play that on PlayStation 5.
Good point.
And how many times can they keep just enhancing graphics on a game and expect people to care? There's one more pixel on the screen in The Last of Us Part 1 too. Well, there is more content. Yeah, hopefully it's obvious why I think that's a bad deal, though I can understand why some people have no problem spending that kind of cash on this kind of game. What you spend your money on is your own damn business.
I still need to play
The
it.
government gets involved. I
And buy
guarantee the
it.
people who complain about this just bought the stupidest goddamn thing ever. This is why I guarantee it. Blizzard Arcade Collection. A handful of games developed by Blizzard before they changed their mind on going bankrupt. A solid little retro distraction with some cool bonus features and variations of the games included. They actually went in and created definitive versions of these Super Nintendo games, combining elements from other console versions into one, which is awesome. For $20, this is a great way to play these vintage games. One problem, these games are available for free on Blizzard's website.
Well, not really
Yeah.
free. They cost the guilt of not buying the arcade collection.
Now, let's be fair here. The versions of the Lost Vikings and Blackthorn Blizzard has available on their website are the DOS versions, and Rock and Roll Racing is more of a cut-down demo of the full game with loads of content missing. The arcade collection contains the console versions of these games, plus the definitive editions, which have loads of value to them. Plus, later on, they released a free update putting 2 games that aren't on Blizzard's website for free in the collection. I think
Oh.
the initial thought of, oh, they're releasing a collection of games for $20 when they're also offering PC downloads of the games included for free, what a crock, is understandable, but they included a lot more than those free versions ever will. And it's not like they removed the free downloads after they released Arcade Collection, so this, I wouldn't say it's a bad deal, though I wouldn't say it's a necessarily good one either, especially when it initially launched with only 3 titles.
Yeah, I
I'd
kind
say
of want to
this
get
is
it now.
wholeheartedly an deal. But that just begs the question, what do I consider a good deal in gaming?
I stole this.
When the Sega Dreamcast was doing really bad, like pretty bad, really bad, a deal was offered where if you signed up for Sega's online service, SegaNet, for $22 a month on a 2-year plan, you'd get a Dreamcast console. You just get one. I mean, you get a free video game console by signing up for a service you'd possibly sign up for once you buy said video game console. It's like, sure, I'll sign up for PlayStation Plus, and then they give you a whole ass PlayStation 5. Like, hey, I wouldn't complain, but this tactic seems backwards. You'd expect if there would be any deal, you'd get the online service for free after buying the console, not getting the console for free after buying the online service.
That is a
But
good
hey,
point.
I'd be an ass for saying this is anything but a good deal. Oh wow, f this guy. It goes without saying though, you can't do a deal like this without vibes of an oh f mentality. And within a few months, Sega announced the deal didn't work. But a good deal is still a good deal, even if it's born out of a company on the verge of bankruptcy. It's
So you
our
get out of
duty
the
as
2-year
consumers
deal
to take
too?
advantage of
That's a
others'
really good
misery,
deal.
even our own. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition on Nintendo Switch for $70. Here's a picture of that, and here's a picture of something not worth $70.
Oh, this was just a waste of ink.
Forget The Last of Us on PlayStation 5 for $70. How about Skyrim on Switch for that price? I mean, the $70 price transition was pretty much exclusively for those new consoles introduced. The Switch was still sitting pretty with a $60 price cap for most games. But let's roll out the red carpet for another damn version of Skyrim. To be fair, this is a bundle. The base Skyrim game for $60 plus the Anniversary Edition DLC upgrade, which would normally cost $20 standalone. Now only $10 via this method. Now the DLC itself, I mean, this Anniversary Edition originally launched alongside the PS5 and Xbox Series versions of Skyrim in November of 2021, being offered as an upgrade on top of another upgrade. It came to Nintendo Switch out of nowhere a year later and includes new content.
Oh, they ain't kidding.
For $20, this is incredibly weak DLC. It's a bunch of items and gear, some quests. I mean, decent enough add-on content, but for $20? On top of the $60 for the base Skyrim game, which is $10 more than the superior special edition on the other more powerful consoles. An Anniversary Edition doesn't even come alongside any next-gen upgrades like it did on PS5, which kind of warranted the release of Anniversary Edition to begin with. But hey, Anniversary Edition on Switch does improve the graphics slightly, and now the game runs worse than it did without the DLC. God, after that, I need something
Incredible.
slightly more positive. Well, I did say slightly. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, a compilation of Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy on Nintendo Switch for $60. Now, due to a lack of bonus features and other games included, many considered this to be overpriced. Well, let's do some math here. When Nintendo sold Nintendo 64 and Wii games on the Wii U's Nintendo eShop, they valued Super Mario 64 at $10 and Super Mario Galaxy at $20. And while they didn't sell GameCube games, we could do some quick math and figure they'd sell Super Mario Sunshine for $15. Nintendo wouldn't do this to me. We are really close. We talk all the time.
Hi, this is Nintendo customer support.
Hi, my DS won't turn on.
Well, this price accounts for the baseline, just the game experience for the most part. 3D All-Stars enhances the games. If you squint, Mario 64 got the least attention here. You could compare it to the standalone Wii U release, and that one you could save and load suspend points whenever you wanted. You can't do that here, though the game looks and controls far better in 3D All-Stars, and it's interestingly based on a Japan-only release of the game, now including Rumble support. Sunshine is now in widescreen with an increased resolution, Galaxy can now be played with a standard controller, and all games can be played portably, which you could warrant a price increase for that. On paper. That's not a feature of the game, that's a feature of the Nintendo Switch. If you list portability as a feature of a Switch game, what are you doing? The Xbox version of this game is more expensive because it has the feature of using an Xbox controller to play it. The bonus content is pitiful in this collection. Basically just the soundtracks of the three games, a feature that was included because no thought had to be put into it. At the end of the day, considering everything that's been included and the enhancements to each game, the value of this collection to me is around $50 to $55, which when it retail for $60, I don't really think that's anything to freak out about. If you're somebody who refuses to pay a couple bucks more than what you think the imaginary value of a product is, you're probably fucking awesome. Which means you would love Gears of War Ultimate Edition on Xbox One, a $40 remaster of Gears of War on Xbox 360.
I only have $5. But I just found out taking out a loan is free!
For a series with 4 entries on the same console, you'd expect to see a Gears of War collection for that price. Just remastering the first game feels like something's missing here. Well, lucky us, Microsoft included the Xbox 360 versions of all these titles for free, playable on Xbox One, even the first game. Oh man, I always wanted to play that! I mean, Gears of War Ultimate Edition is a good remaster, though with how readily available the first game was and how the other games weren't initially included, I'd say this was originally an deal. Though after they ran this promotion, it became a damn good one. It only lasted from August 2015 to December 2015, but hey, if you have a problem with that, take it up with the passage of time. Ha, wanna hear another bad deal in gaming? Mass Effect 3 Special Edition for Wii U. Why did I buy this?
Because it's special. And what makes it special is I f***ed up all by myself.
A launch title for Wii U, the third entry in the Mass Effect series, a series of games that really benefits from playing each entry to move your save file over from one to another. Of course, Mass Effect 1 was only on Xbox 360, so when Mass Effect 2 released on PlayStation 3, they incorporated an interactive comic that enabled you to cruise through an abridged Mass Effect 1 story and make the decisions you would have made that could alter how your story goes in Mass Effect 2. But then they eventually released Mass Effect Trilogy on Xbox 360 and PS3, bundling all games together while also putting Mass Effect 1 out on PlayStation for the first time. That launched during the holiday of 2012 for $59.99. Mass Effect 3 Special Edition launched on Wii U that same holiday for $59.99. Okay, well, it's Special Edition. There's gotta be something special about it. That's not special. Funky Barn's on it too. Sure, you get a new interactive comic, a bunch of the DLCs included, plus the M597 Landon weapon. It's only in the Wii U version.
You know what else is only in the Wii U version? A good reason to buy Mass Effect 3.
But they couldn't bother to price this game at like at least $50? Bringing the trilogy over would take 3 times the work. This game was so cheap on the other platforms because on Xbox 360, it was a matter of putting discs in cases. And on PlayStation 3, they just had to bring over the original Mass Effect and that's it. So I get why this bundle didn't come to Wii U. But why was it the same damn price? Ooh, well, Wii U gamepad functionality. Yeah, because doing this playing Mass Effect 3 feels badass.
The button hurt my finger.
That's not to say the Wii U had no good deals. Take a look at Bayonetta 2. That launched with the entire first game on a disc included for free. And they had to port the
Banger.
whole game to Wii U. It's not like Mass Effect Trilogy where they just threw the old discs in the package. No, they just understood how Bayonetta 1 was never on Nintendo platforms, and with Bayonetta 2 being a Wii U exclusive, well, what better way to sell people on that than include the first game for free. Okay, well, I'm out of ideas. They continued this tradition when the game was re-released on Nintendo Switch, this time with a download code for Bayonetta 1 included. Will always be a good deal. I mean, 16 characters included for free? Best I could do is 15. Nintendo Land included in the Wii U Deluxe set? That's a $60 value for only $50 more than the basic one. Getting one of 4 free games with Mario Kart 8 around launch, the titles like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze all retailing for less than $60? Nintendo was handing out some pretty solid deals during
Two
this
of those are
generation.
bangers.
But then, it happened. In the era of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo wasn't too interested in cutting consumers a deal. Case in point, the Switch version of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. $50 on Wii U when it released as a brand new video game, discounted to $20 in 2016. Nintendo Switch version releases in 2018 for $60.
What did they add to this
Yeah.
version? The goddamn Pope? Okay, so what's the problem again?
Well, outside of a new playable character, Funky Kong, which is basically just an easy mode, Tropical Freeze on Switch features
My
less
little
choppy
sister.
loading screens when entering a level and a new snout. $60. They should charge monthly for this. Tropical Freeze is truly
Snout.
one of the greatest games of all time. The Nintendo Switch version is the best out there. And in a
True.
vacuum, it's worth $60. There is $60 worth of an experience here. But when it launched at $50 and was discounted to $20, and then this version comes out at $60 with barely anything new added, I'm sorry. It feels like these companies try to lure you in with a good deal, then eventually just rip everything from you because they already got you. PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold. You'd sign up for these to play online multiplayer, but as a bonus, you get free games every month. For $60 a year, most people are okay with that for online multiplayer alone. Adding a handful of free games on top of that? That's just icing on the cake. The cake is nails. Yeah, that price for online multiplayer alone is a bit much, which is why all these incentives are being thrown in to keep customers happy. Like removing the need for an Xbox Live Gold subscription to access Netflix on Xbox consoles. That's incentive. But I'll gladly take a few free games a month for doing nothing. Look at this lineup of content from the month of March in 2020. The Batman the Enemy Within, Shantae Half Genie Hero, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Sonic Generations? According to Xbox, that's
a good
nearly
one.
$100 worth of value. Hell, if they offer just these games for the year, you're making your money back on the Xbox Live investment. Damn, if that's the kind of deal we got in March of 2020, then what about in November of 2022?
Oh.
Thank you?
It's really hard to complain considering you're paying for online multiplayer and the
They
games
s-
are a
yeah.
bonus, but
And they
what
switched
the
to
hell
Game
is this?
Pass.
Obviously, a service like Xbox Game Pass is where a lot of the real value lies. I mean, access to hundreds of games for a monthly
Oh, I
price.
need to play
I'm not
Pentiment.
specifying because it depends on where you sign up for the service. Buy a ton of Pop-Tarts, it's free.
But that's what it comes down to. Do you value what the product is
And
giving
do
enough
that.
to warrant paying what they're asking for? Or do you just want to slime yourself around the price? The value
Those
of
are my
games
favorite.
is completely subjective. Just because I don't find a game to be a good deal doesn't mean you should or shouldn't buy them. Hell, you can find a game to be a bad deal and still buy it. As long as you have the money to spend and your reasoning is, I want that, that's all you really need. But it's still interesting
Fair.
to dissect what you personally find to be worth it. So I ask you to think about it yourself. What do you think is a good or bad deal in gaming? And before you say Nintendo customer support is a bad deal, they hung up on me for the 5th time today asking to replace my DS. I know.
How could they? So bad. So disappointing. Tragic. Horrendous. Okay. That was a good video. Generally, yeah, I feel like it is really interesting to discuss like value of games and why prices are the way they are. It was an interesting video. He had a lot of, like, I feel like Scott always finds like really interesting examples of things that like I haven't really thought about before or that I just don't know about. Especially as like I'm more of a PC gamer and Scott covers like essentially exclusively console games, which gets me like a window into a world that I don't know too well. Pretty big fan. Also, I enjoy his skits. I enjoy his skits a lot. All is right in the world when we finally get another Sunday Scott the Woz drop. So true. What Scott wants in his $70 games. I'm not reading this. Kinda surprised the orange box never once got mentioned. That was probably one of the most insane deals ever seen in gaming, and no other deals topped it. That's true. The orange box was literally 5 titles: Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Episode 2, Portal, and TF2. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't own the orange box, but this is like what? Like, I don't think Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2 were like full price ever, but like, this is like what, a $50 game? A $50 game, maybe 30, I don't know. A $50 game, $20. It was like what, $60 or 50? I mean, the price has gone down, I'm pretty sure. Jesus, $20 for these games is cracked. Like, I know, okay, TF2 is free to play now, but, and there was a time where Portal was free, that's when I got it. But, it's still a cool deal, you know? I respect this. It is impressive. It is good. It is valuable. I need to beat Half-Life 2. I also want to play through Black Mesa or Half-Life 1. I played through like the first 2 hours of it and I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I like those like scripted FPS games where like there's a story and there's stuff that happens in the environment as you're playing. It's really neat. And I know like Half-Life was like one of the first series that really like prioritized that. And it's cool to see where it came from. Here's the story of the best GameStop deal I ever got. I was in 5th grade and wanted Kirby's Return to Dreamland so bad. I knew the game was rare though, so I never got my hopes up. My family went on vacation and we visited a mall that had a GameStop. Obviously, I wanted to go, so I was looking through the used Wii games and I had found the game. I was so hyped, but I knew that the game usually ran to at least $50, and as you may know, for a 5th grader, that is a lot of money. I had to think about it, and as I did, I looked at the price tag, and it was labeled Kirby's Epic Yarn, which is a game that's worth about half as much. Checked out with the game without saying a word, and I got Kirby's Return to Dreamland for $25. It was in good condition as well, had the cover art and literature. This is the only time I will genuinely say, thank you GameStop. It sounds like such a formative experience. I'm so thankful for them. Or happy for them. That's the right word. Um, huh. Watching Scott try not to laugh is funnier than the joke. Let's see.
I'm
Hi, this is Nintendo customer support.
Hi, my DS won't turn on.
well, this price accounts for the
No,
baseline-
joke was better. But also funny to watch him not try and laugh. It's my favorite. Bayonetta 1 and 2 had the extra costumes exclusive to Nintendo, and the Link costume gave you a reflective. Oh, that's cool. Fun fact. One time I bought a new 3DS XL at a thrift store for $5, and the analog stick ribbon was torn. Called Nintendo customer support asking them if I could buy the part, and they just asked for the serial number and asked where I bought it. I told them a secondhand store, and they offered to replace it. Only issue is that they didn't have that model in stock anymore, and sent me a new 2DS XL instead. Kind of a banger. I love the thought of Scott being romantically attracted to a video game company. 13-year-old me was totally romantically attracted to Paradox Interactive. Not gonna lie. I have problems. Scott knew he wouldn't be able to make a proper Black Friday video, so he decided today is the correct day. Yes. So true. So real. Also loving the return to 20-minute, more focused videos. The skits are funny and your friends are hilarious, but personally I watch your videos for your insight and the dense nature of the content / research you put into them. I do really enjoy them. I think, like, I don't think I watched too many of the videos he made with friends, but it's really, like, I like these videos. They're very enjoyable. They're very easy to watch. I never like think, "Oh, man, when is this video about to end?" It just goes and goes, and it's so nice. He has great pacing for his skits. They're quick. They're not too long. I just said the same thing twice, but it's for emphasis. Um, and I've watched a lot of Scott the Woz videos. I kind of want to watch like these longer form ones, but like I need to watch Mandalore Gaming's 2 long form videos that I still haven't watched soon. I mean, this is actually like I didn't realize that this was like a real video. I thought it was just a compilation of old videos. Huh. Respect. That's impressive. Yeah, releasing long form videos like that is so difficult. I still need to also do VGHS season 3, but it's like 8 hours long. And like my whole stick with that was that I was doing each season in one sitting. So yeah. All right, is there anything else? The way I determine okay, I don't like this. So this person's basically saying that they determine it based on how much gameplay they get per dollar, right? Which I feel like it's more about the experience. There's so many games I've played that are like where like you're paying $2 an hour, right, for how much content you get, or even more. But it's like it's just a really good game that sticks with me. And you know, I think like an experience that sticks with you, that makes you reflect on it afterwards, and that makes it like pop into your head for months or even years after, that is what I pay for. Now, there's games that are like very good at catering towards dollar per hour, like Paradox Interactive games, but you need both, in my opinion. I'm sure some people, like, I understand if you heavily prioritize one thing, but for me, you need both. And like you don't need both in one game. It's just good to have the variety. Hmm. All right. All right. Thank you so much for watching, folks. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Hey folks, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.